I've never had an appropriate good evening. This is Robin from Robin's Hood coming to you. I don't know if I'm live, pre-recorded, in the past, the future, or in the present time, but in my life, in my mind, I feel like I'm live at the moment at 7 o'clock on, and I really do forget the date. I think it's June. So if June 11th was Sunday when the bridge collapsed, and today's Thursday, the 12th, 13, 14, I believe it's the 15th. Of June 2023. I got 13 more days and I'll be 46 full years old. The 46 year will finally pass by, then it'll be 47. And, you know, considering Jacob Israel drops hints like the best of them, and talking about his birthday and Grimace, his birthday, and the milkshake stealing milkshakes, considering the bridge collapsed, and it also, the image it turned into, ironically enough, at least from the side view that they gave us, is a crocodile with his head. It looks like it's snapped back, or it's just dropped down and then crawling upon the earth. But every time they show pictures, it's either it's the CGI, it's the images added in after the fact, just to, you know, just a little bit color shade here to make the picture, to show you what's happening. Like the bridge itself, the I-95 in Philadelphia, before, I'm not sure why they picked that exact area, because it's not like the guy who was driving the truck accidentally crashed. Nothing's an accident. Everything's done in order to destroy, but then rebuild. The mayor, he's really motivated to just really get that bridge built and get that traffic reflowing. And it just seems a little sus that the traffic's that things are just gonna go back to normal. But maybe they're waiting until my birthday to really hit Philadelphia. I don't know, I was kind of thinking maybe this isn't going to happen until 2024, so I might as well just stop doing any predictions of the second 9/11 in Philly. But then one of the most devastating things that could happen in Philadelphia for the economy is for I-95 to collapse. Because then people, truck drivers, just think of the, when you got to get off, you're relying on highway miles. You're relying on the highway miles to get paid. And then you're spending gas to get there. Like delivery trucks, that whoever's a contractor and themselves, and this money has to come out of their pocket, It's not like a really big corporation, but even so, the corporations, they'll wind up taking a different job, and instead of heading in that direction, like, well, nah, we're sorry, Mr. Perlman, we can't deliver the lumber today because we took a job in Maryland instead because your bridge has collapsed. And then slowly but surely, material stopped coming to Philadelphia because I saw a star. I saw a star fall from heaven, and the key of the bottomless pit. The king is this king of the scorpion, Abaddon. Now I understand that the fire itself wasn't a star, and I understand that it wasn't a star that fell from heaven. But because I've learned what's done in spirit, they have to do it in literal to give the message. So just something as simple as collapsing that bridge, and you could say, well, you seen the truck went around a turn. I mean, you seen this very, very blurry image that anybody you can add. I mean, look, when you guys do videos and you have your own characters playing back and forth with each other as if you're both there at the same time, but you're not, and it's picture perfect clear, yeah, it'll make it a lot easier just to show some image and then an explosion and say, look, yep, there it goes, that's what happened. There it is, the truck, it hit that turn, and old Moody there had I guess he was moody a lot, I don't know, but he was a great driver. So, all right, case closed. Next. No, wait a minute, this isn't a shut and closed case there, boss. This is a Jonathan Kleck special. And I told you 3 years ago that I saw a star. I was talking about the future, obviously. I saw a star fall from heaven, and it hit Philadelphia, and it gives it a little bit of strength. How? I mean, I know it didn't happen at the moment, like the calculations and the numbers and everything, but how much strength does Philadelphia is Center City's economy gonna? And with this blockage continuously happening, and then right when they're getting ready to open up that bridge or have it ready to go, then another catastrophe happens that cripples another portion of Philadelphia, and then another portion, and then the big drop happens. I think that they were going to destroy this planet, but then they changed their mind. And they changed their mind. Mainly because they've been seen. They can't really... It's like once you're caught, how do you continue on without being known that that's what it is? So that's where I feel like I came into play, which is meeting them wherever they're at and pointing it out, because that's my job. I'm supposed to. Now, if you're from the inside and you're pointing things out, you can be considered a snitch or a rat or whatever. I'm far from a rat. More like a bigger animal. One with a louder mouth that can stretch to the ends of the earth instead of some measly little rat. So on Jacob Israel's birthday, there was darkness. Smoke rose up from the pits opening up. Scorpion came out and started spewing off their tails. remember the mayor of Philly was working. They're working their tails off. He's not saying that he's actually doing any hard labor or anything. Or workers are just workers. They don't really work their tails off. They just have a bunch of people there and get stuff done. So when you're working your tails off as a scorpion rising up from the bottomless pit on 6/11, around 6:22ish, where the smoke happened, the Orth lane was shut down. North lane was shut down. The tales that they're working off are the lies that they're spewing about what happened. And then there's more lies coming. There's more tales coming from the Scorpions. I don't know for sure if this is the 5-month period in the Bible, but it's looking like it is. Because with that fire in the middle, well, what they did was they showed you, wasn't there a turn signal on? I thought it was. They showed you the fire in the middle, and a star image was protruding out of it. Now, I don't know how they did it. It could have been a part of the CGI during the fire itself, that whoever was taking the image, or in the fire itself, they have a way of doing that, because it's just, 9/11, the images that come from the smoke plume, and miracle signs and wonders at the same time. Smoke, mirrors, you have mixed in smoke with mirrors, and so it's real fire with mirrored images and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm not sure, but they are talking a lot about working their tails off, the scorpion, the stingers, smoke, bottomless pit coming up, rising, the manholes pluming out, and that's how the demons come out, and they start stinging men that don't know what's going on here. And then it's, within those 5-month period, it gets so bad that men just want to die, but they can't. Death flees from them, but they want to. It's not like they're going to take their lives. You say, like, oh man, I just want to die already, like Job. I'm so tired of, because he feels like it's never going to end. With same thing with Jeremiah and I don't know, Elijah. They all just get tired of living through it. So I wonder if they're going to wait until my birthday to really hit Philly, to really hit it, and hit it hard with something more devastating than just a bridge collapse. Because that's it's like there's branches of areas that can destroy a city, because the horror's been judged. It's Philadelphia, it's the landscape, it's the little Egypt there, and the whole system is being judged because it's been revealed. That's the only way that I can act like a judge, by taking what I see, judging it, and saying, that's what that is over there, and that's what that ain't, and that what he just said isn't true, and what he's saying over there is true. And look, it's the whole host body system, the whore that's riding the beast. And Jacob's like, I'm not gonna let you ride me no more. I'm not going to let you ride me no more. And then the bridge collapses and nobody's able to ride that road anymore to get between New York and Philly, unless they do it, just at the one spot. But there's like a 6 or 7 mile, 8 mile distance that's just straight cut off, and they got to do detours. I don't know. I haven't went in that direction. I don't plan on even going down in that direction. unless I have my scooter and I'm not trying to get anywhere. I just want to see like how backed up the traffic is. But it's more far to the left. I'm on Broad Street now. And then maybe they might wait, maybe it might happen on Broad Street, and then there's another detour, and it's just such a hassle to get to work. But that's when I would just have to wake up a lot earlier than everybody. And everybody else would be like, well, we're going to wake up early. Nah, well, I'm going to have to wake up earlier than you to get there. So I don't know, I mean, whatever. Just see what happens when my birthday appears on June 28th, 2023 in Philadelphia, to see if anything matches and lines up with Jacob Israel's 17 days later, with the beginning of the collapse of the economy in Philly. But then at the same time, before you rekindle a relationship because the two became one, no matter what's happening here, the end result is already in. The final decision is there. Everybody's working on the same, everybody's on the same page with the same script. Playing the, see, this guy is just lost. The same page, the same script. And it's no different than Hollywood movies, and because you all know the ending. Hollywood movies playing out the same way. The end result is the good guys always win. But man, this sure is a long movie. I'll tell you, long movie. It's more like a documentary. At some point it'll be played out. I think when that movie hits the theaters, my channel should be in there somewhere when Jacob Israel's talking about it. Because there's going to be YouTube channels in this movie. It's, I forgot what he said it was called. Oh, The Mandela Effect coming out. There's going to be a bunch of YouTube channels in this documentary, so I'm definitely going to go see that movie. It'd be nice, you know, to be in a movie. It'd be nice to get more views and to monetize the channel and then just let the advertisement pay my bills. Now, I think that's where things are heading, because I don't monetize my regular videos because I don't get that many views, and what's the point? However, that may be a lie, because with my channel being shared around the world with the kings of the earth, because they're all paying attention. Hey, everybody. The amount of people that the kings know to watch the video, when I finally get credit, like the click count, and every video I post really gets 100,044 views, or somewhere along those lines, let the advertisement take care of me for life. All the work I did is worth more than anything on the planet. The work itself, the revealing of the things. But because my life is still back and forth to work each day, just, you know, making it month to month, paying the bills, it doesn't seem like anything is really important. But I know better, and so that's why I just stick it out. I just keep doing it. I really have no other choice in the matter. I'm not being forced to do it. Nobody's telling me to do it, but I really have no choice. Because what am I going to do? Just stop doing it when I've come so far? I'm able to find out where Satan's seat is, and the Switzerland embassy is right there, next to the Poland embassy, and next to the Sweden, next to Italy, right where the Logan Square, the CERN, the all-seeing eye, the angel of the bottomless pit, just a representative of the Bible in Philadelphia that little bit of landscape right there. There's so much packed into those 2 miles. Being part of U2, creating the music videos from the time, like Derek Bros said in the video, that there's things that he's remembering that he did that he doesn't remember that he did before, but apparently he was a part of it because he's remembering it. And that's referring to my experience with U2 and going in the art museum and just I'm remembering what I did because I have tangible evidence showing you what I did previously before I was born somehow. But I don't remember doing it, but apparently I did. So when I do a video and I show you the comparison, my memory starts to come back to me, even though I don't remember ever doing it. So at some point, I live like you guys are able to live down here because I'm walking it out, going through it, seeing it, revealing it, and living it. I've foreseen Philadelphia being destroyed at least 4 years ago, and this is the closest to Philadelphia being destroyed since I've been alive. Well, no, the tire incident in 1996, it shut down I-95 for a little bit. But we're at 4321 before the fire. Jonathan Kleck's the before the fire guy. The earth is going to be burned up by fire this time. God says he's not going to destroy it with water, the flood. And the fire is the word of God. So he's also before that too. That's kind of like, it sounds like John the Baptist type. I don't know how many John the Baptist types there were or are being played out. Different timelines, like every 4 years or so. When it says that kings reign for 40 years and then the next king reigns for 40 years, and I look at it as 4 years. Each king reigns for 3 full years, turns into 4, and then it's the next. Because Stephen James definitely was reigning at one point in the beginning, because he came after me every day. I had him making a tremendous amount of videos, and then he tapered off, and then Jonathan Kleck was next. So it's like, was Steve the beginning, like Saul the king in the beginning, and then David, like King David, comes up, and then Jonathan Kleck appears, and it's for the next 4 years. Or maybe I came in at the end of Saul's reign. I don't know. I get them mixed up, and then Solomon. And so whichever one it was, David, Solomon, and then for 4 years reigning. And this has happened before. There's nothing new under the sun, except for the sun. That's what I said too. And that's what Leak Project was saying with Derek Bros, that there's nothing new under the sun except for the sun himself. Like the new sun. Because it's all been scripted. And then it really happens. It really starts to manifest. I don't know, my perception of God, it changed. It changed. I just thought it was different. And then Jesus, the perception of Jesus, well, it's never really been very realistic to me. It just hasn't. Someone that was sinless his entire life. Well, nobody's actually sinless. You're born of an evil nature. You just go astray. But I believe the sin that they were talking about is he wasn't part of the beast system. So Jesus to me was a regular person. He wasn't an agent. He wasn't an FBI, CIA spy. He was not part of the inside whatsoever. And I believe he was married to Mary Magdalene. Because here's the reason why I believe it. Think of it like this. For those of you that are so stuck on how we were taught the scripture, and you have a different perception of Jesus too, the actual physical human flesh being. How is it that he had such great relationships with women? Well, because he was always around his mother and his sister and the women, and he knew. I mean, he was sinless. He never had a girlfriend. He never had a relationship with a woman. Right. Well, see, here's the thing. You can't have that much favor and love from the women unless you know how to deal with a woman. Not only just a woman, like a kind-hearted, loving woman, but a demon-possessed woman. You don't know how to handle a woman unless you get put through the test. You don't know squat unless you know squat. How are you supposed to know anything if you don't know anything? If you never drove a car, how the hell can you possibly try to tell somebody how to drive a car? If you've never been in a relationship with a woman, how can you possibly explain a woman and have so much favor and love from the women that were always around Jesus? How could he possibly know the ins and outs of a woman's heart and mind unless he had to deal with possibly some very demon-possessed women in his life as relationships? You got to think of these things with common sense. How can I give any advice to anybody if I've never been attacked by the top Luciferian United States gang stalker in America, King James, and his version of the Bible? You can't give quality advice. You can go to a school, you can go to a Wives R Us 101 and say, this is how you're supposed to be a husband. And well, what if they argue and this is what you're supposed to do. According to section AB 141894, now you actually have to go through it, and then you can explain it and then walk it out and show others. So that's my belief. Why was he always kissing her on the lips? Maybe it was his wife. Yeah, maybe. But, I mean, look, they did say, good master, this woman, we found her committing adultery in the very act itself. And what do you say? So the custom is to bring the woman to the husband and say, this woman, which is your wife, has been caught in the middle of adultery. What do you say to the husband? So they brought Mary to Jesus to say that same exact thing. And because he knew that the ones that were showing him her a secret life, like the underground clubs and stuff, possibly being having another twin to step in place as you're heading down in the middle of the night to go to the parties, the underground world, and then come back up to Jesus, like a pathetic life we have here. I sure love going down there. And the movie The Chosen that Kleck's talking about, I haven't watched a lot of it, but when I do watch it, I realize this is actually what's happening. These, like the other books that aren't in the Bible that tell you more details about the Bible, and then you're like, people tell you, you're not supposed to listen to that, don't watch that, don't do this, don't do that. Yeah, well, how are you supposed to have any discernment whatsoever? unless you do that and go and learn and watch and other people. Even watching, how do you think I figured out the entire truth of the matter behind the scenes of everything? Because I learned how to read between the lines of the biggest liar on the planet, Stephen James DeShawn. The biggest liar I've ever came across. That character. So you can only be effective going through it with experience. And that's why I even say to my wife, I say to her, look, honey, even if there is 3 of you or 2 of you, you're twins, and I'm hanging out with you and then I'm hanging out with the other one, and I can't really tell the difference because you're all identical. I still love you. I'm still gonna, you're gonna be taken care of for the rest of your life here on this planet. And I'm also aware that there's it's 1 or 2 things. I could be living a life where my wife is, she's from an organization that, is, her task is different than others. Her task isn't driving around cutting people off and getting in their way. Her task specifically is just me. That's it, just me. Others do things, they have to, multitasking, but her task is to just be sent in my direction. And then torment me for years on end, accusing me of cheating on her and doing this and that, and when the exact opposite was happening. I was being cheated on, or probably still could be, but I don't. It's like I understand the flesh side, that you need to get things handled in flesh form. But when you're done, I'm here. You could say, well, Satan would call you a sucker then. Your wife's cheating on you and you still love her? Well, you know what's going to happen? At some point, it ends. It all stops. The truth is revealed. People repent and they turn, because the guilt of being loved as you're doing something wrong to that person, and that person actually knows what you're doing and still loves you anyway, that's what crushes it. So I'm sure that's also how Christ got Mary to repent, because things happen in spirit, and they also manifest in real time, in real life, like your real life circumstances. My wife has played the Mary role. She's even compared herself to Mary at times, and because she just wants the attention, but then she gets the attention and it's like, it's whatever, and it doesn't mean anything. Then it feels good to get the attention, and like a whore looking for attention, and it could be all literal too. And then I stick up for Christ. I've been sticking up for the real Christ, like the real truth, the real interpretation of what Christ really is with my perception. Because I don't like how people have been giving him a bad name. I don't like how Christopher Green says Jesus Christ, because he's referring to himself. And I'm not sure if he's Barabbas or Judas, but you had it, all of a sudden you're on an island in Hawaii and Philadelphia, and America's going to be destroyed, but I feel like you already know that, and it's all an act anyway. And you have another character that I actually love, but the character that you have now is, it's just one that gives Christ a bad name, that's all. These characters have to die out. I haven't watched much of what's his name, Tate, but just right away, just bad name. Just giving, if you mention the word Christ as I don't even know if he did or not, but Just the arrogance and the pride. It doesn't matter what the hell you say. The pride is what needs to get slapped out of people. Look at all these buildings with so many available rooms to put people in. But no, you got to pay $500,000 a month to live here. That all needs to get freed up. At some point it will, but in the meantime it's supposed to get worse. Everything's going to come to a halt. And it starts right here in Philly. All nations are coming. All the kings of the earth. And I feel like I'm going to meet them all. Like I really am going to finally meet everybody. In person. Somewhere down there in Philly. Probably at the dead center. The heart of the earth. The garden, the desert, the four corners. I mean, I sure hope you guys are in the same bodysuits and face masks that I've known. I see you that way first, and then you take your mask off, and then I see the true you behind whether you're reptilian or alien or angels. Well, I'm about ready to start another 8 hours at least of something I'd rather not be doing. Although I appreciate the job I have, I'm just not sure how much longer it's going to last. But in the meantime, this is what it looks like, wasting your life. You go to work, you're wasting you're working just to pay your bills, aren't you? What if they just stop charging us for electric and rent and we don't have to pay for anything? Wouldn't that be great? Well, then what would you do? I would live my life and just enjoy it and have access to doing whatever I want and helping whoever I can. Or just freeing things up, making them a lot more cheaper and reasonable instead of so damn sickeningly expensive. So it took me an hour to get here. It'll take me an hour to get back home. That's 10 hours. 50 hours at least of just wasting life every week. Rinse, repeat, waste life, rinse, repeat. I should have $1 gazillion in the bank right now, but I don't. I barely have next month's rent. And this has been going on since I moved into this house. And I feel like I'm just kind of stuck living there. Because everything's so damn expensive, and where I'm at, it's literally $1,000 less than what it could be because I'm a good tenant and she kept the rent down. I can move to a 2-bedroom apartment and spend just about the same amount I'm paying now for a 4-bedroom house. Wah, 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 Robin, wah, wah, woe's me, wah, poor Robin, wah, wah. Yep, poor me. Poor me. At some point, it finally becomes a reality. I get rewarded. I'm not going to say I told you so. I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say, see? Here it is. Look. I'm going to say, isn't that what I said was going to happen? But I'm not going to say I told you so. I'm just going to say, didn't I say that that's what was going to take place? What I just said? All right, hold on, wait, Robin's coming. Wait, don't try to pretend you're parking very, very slowly. Wait a minute, wait until we get. All right, go. Okay, we're good. Good job, buddy.